I was disappointed that's just a one shot. I thought they were bringing that back as a series, and I was like, yeah, but fuck, it's just a one shot. The older Power Kid's like almost an adult now.
Well, what do we got here? So the one shots we know that are coming are Dark Hawk, Shang-Chi, Not Brand X.
I don't care about that though. I mean, that's humor or whatever, but
Power Pack, Silver Sable, and the Wild Pack.
That might be all right.
Is doing a one shot.
I've always liked Silver Sable as a character. I always thought she was great in Spider-Man books.
Yeah.
It remains to be seen if she can carry the whole book, but I mean, maybe we'll see.
Let me see here. Like I said, Husk is coming back in Generation X. I'm excited for that one. I've always liked the character of Husk. I can't wait for Iron Fist and Sabretooth round 2. Oh, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, I have that issue, by the way. The first Sabretooth.
I need that. That's one I need. I don't have that one. I gotta get. I think it's in my box. I need to go pick up I have to pick up my books from last week. But the Runaways. I want to read this new Runaways book. And Bendis isn't writing that either. But I'll have to see about that. But I'm really excited for the Spirits of Vengeance. That one I'm really excited for. It's that's the Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, Blade, Damon Hellstorm, and Satana team.
Yeah, I've got a actual previews magazine here. I'm trying to see if it's got any of the stuff you're looking at.
Is it the one on the front that has Rasputin?
No. I'm trying to look for the date on it, but it's dark in here.
Yeah, the newest one there. So I guess Dark Horse.
Oh, this is January 2017.
That's old, man. No, Dark Horse Comics is I guess they're doing a series, about Rasputin and the Hellboy Rasputin.
Yeah.
It's
I have that. I have the new one right here somewhere, but fuck it.
Yeah, it's Rasputin, Voice of the Dragon. A conspiracy involving the Third Reich and a dead member of a sinister secret society, says Professor Brutenholm on his first mission to find the man who'd soon bring Hellboy to Earth. The mad Russian sorcerer Rasputin had been thought dead since 1916, when a group of noblemen sought to end his influence over the Tsar. Now Rasputin works with the most twisted member of Hitler's inner circle, and he's about to cross paths with the man who'll go on to found the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense. So it's basically the story before before Rasputin brings Hellboy.
I don't know if I'm interested in that story though. In a way, some of those mini-series, the BPRD mini-series, I used to get those and I'd read them. Some of them were pretty good. Some of them would just drag, and I'd be like, I don't know if I'm interested in Rasputin before Hellboy comes into it. The Hellboy is the interesting part of that to me.
It's funny when I look at some of these other publishers and the stuff that they kind of like their core, like. So we know, like, Image brings out 50 new creator-owned books, like, a week. Like, every week there's some new issue number 1 from Image.
Yeah, and I don't understand how... Man, they give people a shot, I guess, and if it doesn't take off, then what happens to it, man? Some of those things just go nowhere.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Dark Horse right now. It's a lot of Alien vs. Predator, Buffy... The Vampire Slayer in her books, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then Black Hammer. But
I think to a degree, there's a trendiness among hipster comic fans to just buy Image comics, whether they're good or not. Honestly, I think some of those books are such shit. I was one that would give, because Image a while back, Image was putting out some pretty solid shit.
And every number one would go up in price like the day after it hit shelves.
Well, yeah, I had one that I went and I just saw it just on a whim and said that looks kind of cool, and I can't remember it wasn't Black Science, I can't remember what title it was, and I remember I got it and took it home, and I was looking at Twitter and I was thinking, I'm gonna go check this book because I kept seeing it. I was like, I'm gonna go check and see what this is going for. It was going for like $35, by the time I had gotten home with it. And I thought, man, but I mean, some of them were pretty solid books. Some of the ones they were putting out, 3-4 years ago even were pretty solid. And it's like nowadays, it's like they put out just anybody they just put some shit out, and it's so and you give it a chance and you read it and it's like this is just shit. What this is boring. Nothing is happening. The artwork is terrible, and it's like man, I quit doing that. I quit giving those I started to see that pattern where they would put out some shit books and then they would go nowhere, and you couldn't even finish an arc because they wouldn't even put it out. Put out number one, and you wouldn't see another one for 3-4 months, and it's like,
yeah,
well, what the fuck? And so no, I don't do that. If I go on recommendations, and what sucks about going on recommendations is that means somebody has to get it first, and then by the time you want to get it and start at number one and start reading the series, they're all sold out because everybody's got them on eBay and they're all going for $30 a piece. God damn it.
It's like I get Walking Dead, which is a given. And I still get East to West whenever it comes out, which has not been as frequently as it used to be.
Yeah.
I got Outcast, I maybe got like the first 10 issues of Outcast, and then that kind of like dropped off for me.
Yeah.
I was getting Nailbiter for a while, and that kind of dropped off. I still get I Hate Fairyland, and I still get Shirtless Bear Fighter. But then that's only a 5 issue.
That does look funny. I'm gonna have to get that because I've been seeing it. I follow who is it? Like Paulo Rivera, I think, on Facebook. And he was posting pictures of it, and I think it was the other day. And let me see for the Saturday.
I mean, it's only a 5-issue series, so it's not that bad to pick up or wait for the trade.
Well, no, I guess they're still pretty readily available around. I haven't really tried to look for one, but
then there's like I was talking about, they have this one called Snot Girl, and it's from the Brian Lee O'Malley who wrote Scott Pilgrim. But it's one of those things where I'm not opposed to all these. I mean, I want as many comics out there as possible because that means there's more books out there in the industry. But why do I just miss it when I miss like old Image? Like I'm looking at this right now. I'm looking at Image right now. Okay, there is still Spawn's still there. But I mean, I dropped off of Spawn a long time ago.
Yeah, I dropped off of Spawn not too long after issue 100 because I dropped off a little bit before Capullo left it to go do Batman or whatever he was. I don't know. Did he do anything in between? I think he just went right from Spawn to Batman, if I'm thinking right. Like 6 years ago or whatever it was. And I had been getting Spawn regularly up to that point, and then I kind of just followed Capullo around, I guess. I don't even think that was an intentional thing. I think I had just gotten burned on Spawn and quit getting it at the time. And then I had seen that Capullo was going to Batman, so I immediately started getting, because of Capullo is why I started getting New 52 books.
Right.
Because he had signed up to do Batman. I thought that's going to be badass because Capullo's awesome. And so I started getting Batman, and then I just loved everything. I just love everything Capullo does. So.
Well, it's like I was getting from IDW, I was getting Transformers for a long time, but then they switched it to like, now they end it and then they continue it with like a new series, and they've like so they had like then they now do like Optimus Prime and Transformers: The Lost Light, and I love the Transformers comic book. I mean, it was a smart comic. I mean, you had to read it twice to fully understand it. And yeah, IDW will be getting my money, as I've said before, next year when Sonic debuts on there. But with IDW had some shit going on this past. I saw it the other day. Like the guy who writes G.I. Joe for them. You were on that. You were on that thread. He like made some derogatory statements on Twitter on 9/11, and people. Yeah,
well, he was going on for some reason. I don't know what the fuck this guy's problem is, but he was like going. People were all like they always do, and to a degree, yeah, I can see what he's saying because it does get annoying when these like empty platitudes about I remember, and like I mean they didn't have anything to do with 9/11, or they weren't even born yet, or whatever, and. But people were writing about like how their experience on 9/11 or how they they felt about it that day when they saw it on TV, all this stuff. And this guy was like, yeah, well, fuck you, and oh, great, he was just tearing into people, I guess, on Twitter or something. And yeah, I think that's kind of shitty. And kind of, it's people. You got a guy writing a book that apparently a lot of military dudes read it. The comic fans read this book. So I mean, it's like kind of a shitty attitude to have.
Well, what is he? Is he writing the core G.I. Joe book? Because what I'm
saying, he's like a freelance guy, I guess. I don't know. I don't give a shit. Really,
okay, because I'm seeing right here in the September issue of previews, G.I. Joe number 246. It's written by Larry Hama.
Yeah, I think he's what do you fucking? He's just a freelance dude that's been working on the book. I don't know, but he was just being an asshole and kind of being disrespectful to people, I guess. But yeah, I don't really give a fuck. But I just I write trolly shit all the time to people. And a lot of times I'm joking, like Newsarama. I put a joke on a Newsarama article. I was just kidding around, just being a troll dick, and it was obviously I was just fucking around because they had put it was like right after issue 30 of The Flash had come out, like the same week. And I think it was 30. It was a 31. I think it's 30. But they had revealed that Barry Allen, like there's for some reason they pushed back issue 31 of The Flash or something to a different to later on, and instead they're going to release a different story like this next month or something. Mm-hmm. And they had revealed in the article, Newsarama had revealed in the article that Barry Allen actually leaves the forensics lab, quits the forensics lab, and goes to work at a prison facility. And but in issue 30, they had left it hanging whether or not he was going to really quit the forensics lab. He had gotten a fight with his boss, with Singh, and then he had left. He walked out of the forensics lab, and it was kind of left up in the air whether or not he had actually quit or if he was going to go back and make things right. And so they had revealed in this article that Barry left the forensics lab and he had a new boss. So I said, hey, thanks for spoiling it that Barry left the forensics lab. Like who gives a shit? Like nobody. That's not a spoiler. It's just a matter of fact of the article, and I acted like it was a spoiler, and then I put whatever, which I thought the whatever was funny. I thought that this is what, obviously I'm just trolling you guys and I'm fucking around, and Newsarama replied to it. I didn't even want to read it. I don't know what they said, but then other people I got a bunch of replies to it. I think people were pissed off thinking I was just being a fucking nitpicky dick, but I was kidding, and I do that shit all the time.
And I'm constantly.
And sometimes I got a little behind it, like I'm kind of fuck this guy, but I mean, still.
And I do it for fun. I'm constantly like, I'll scroll through Facebook and it's like, it'll be that you replied to something, and I'll look at it and I'll see you're like, fuck this shit, fuck, and then I just see like, oh, some big old, the man baby got hurt and shit like that. People, these they try to call you like a man baby or the. I
don't even reach. I just reply to shit, then I just leave it. And it makes people twice as mad when you don't reply back. They just get more frustrated and more. And I don't even think I've even said anything that it wasn't true or I tend to say it in a kind of harsh way when I say shit, and that's just me. But I don't like go attack people. I mean, I just use the word fuck a lot in what I'm saying. And
the word fuck a lot.
Yeah, and I don't call people names a lot of times. Unless they call, I don't do anything that somebody hasn't done to me already, and I do it in response. Like, I'm not gonna take somebody's crap, but I mean, I'm not trying to be insulting to anybody at first, unless you insult me, and then it's on. But that's a lot of times why I don't do it. I don't comment anymore. I used to do it a lot more. But I don't get in fights with people on the internet anymore. It's just not worth it's too stressful, and I don't want to do it.
I think, Chief, you need to go to this alien spa that'll just take all the negativity out of you, but then it'll turn into like this goopy version of you, and it'll try to take over the world.
Now, one of my
you saw this week's or this newest Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, was that new yesterday? Okay, all right. I haven't seen the brand new one then. But I've seen the one where they take the toxins out of them.
Yeah, the toxin